Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how not to get faked out. I'm using an IF inverted for value gap for a reversal. I'm on a 1 minute. As you can see here, small gap that was broken through. Price came down. It's good for a quick scalp, I guess, to these lows here. Could have took it. Well, it just broke that fair value gap right there. I guess you could have took it to these lows, but I would have aimed for the fair value gap down there. But anyway, it did break through that. Broke through that gap. Came through this gap that's right here. Came down. Came right back up. So would have got stopped out there. And also happened here as well. So here, price came down, broke past this gap here, came back up, formed a lower high. Okay, which would make me think I'm safe. Lower high. Okay, boom, came down. Once it didn't break this high, this low, I would have known it wasn't a true reversal down here, that it was coming back up. But still, then I would have hit a stop loss here and would have been a nice little drawdown. So those were like two fake outs. Now this right here is a real reversal, right? So what we want to see is price make a higher high like it did here. And then we want to see kind of like this V. Price made a high, came down, bottom of the V, came up again, formed a lower high, came back down, and in the process, fair value gap was broken right here. Then respected on the other side. But you really want to see an inverted fair value gap. So we go to like a 30-second, and there's one there. So
how's my 90?
good, and the T is good.
Yeah, okay. Enjoy.
Nice, you baby. You good? Okay. Yeah, well, I like to look for a gap violating another gap. But this will work too, because you can see price right here is respecting that gap on the side. So this would have been a little tricky one. Even here, I'm not sure this is considered as an inverse, because there's no gap on the other side, but it did disrespect it. So if we took a short here, let's see what happens. We take a short. And then from here, I would look for at least 50%, which you hit it right there, and then I would get out. And then I'll look for price to turn around. So from here, I'll probably go to like a 1 minute and see if I get that violated right here, because I'm expecting it to turn around. So if this gets violated, let's see. Which it did, and let's look to see if we have a inverse on a lower time frame. Oh, and it's 10-10 macro. So also on a lower time frame, you want to make sure that all gaps have been violated. So yes, because sometimes if you look on a higher time frame, like a 5 minute, 1 minute, whatever, it'll look like a gap is violated, but you have to go to the lower time frames because sometimes on a lower time frame there's a small gaps. Whoops. Like right here, you can see the gap actually ends. Did I lock this? No. The gap actually ends here. So you have to wait for it to get violated. I like to go up a time frame and wait for the violation there because then it's a definite. So let's see if it gets violated. It does. But that's like almost a doji. So let me wait for one more. There we go. Then I would buy. Boom. Okay, so then we can aim for that 920 and 930 high right there. And actually keep going up for the rest of the day probably, or for a good time, because we're in a gap, is reversing, it's respecting it now. So let's look to the left. What do we have? Here, here, up here. Maybe he wants to go all the way up here. There's equal, relatively equal highs. So let's say we put in a buy here. And we just let it go. Boom, tagged. You can see it dip down. That means it wants to go higher right here. Let's see, right here. Dip down into it. Boom. Into that gap, respecting it. So now I need to figure out how to trade continuation. So how do I trade a continuation? And I guess what I would do is I would go to lower time frames as price is going up and see if it's respecting gaps. So there's a very small one here. Yep, inverse gap that got respected. Boom. And I don't see any reason why for this to keep going. So let's go. Let's see what happens. Keep going. Keep going. Now there's a gap there at the bottom. Let's see what happens with that. That's a doji. Let's see which way it goes. It broke the bottom of the doji. That means it wants to go higher. I'll probably buy another contract there. It's gonna, oh, it didn't go higher. Okay, so I respected it. Disrespected it there. Yeah, well, let me see. Let me keep going. Because of doji, nah, I think it's gonna go up still. Because that's just how dojis work. Yeah. So I'll put a stop loss here. But I think it's gonna go higher still. Let's see, yep. Let's go. I don't see no reason for it to turn around yet. So I think it just wants to go higher and higher. Yeah. Okay, so another macro here. Let's see what it wants to do. Okay, so violate that gap. So I would get out right here. Get out. Because this gap here got violated. Boom. This gap. Sorry, this gap got violated here. So there's a high candle, there's a lower high candle. Price came down, broke that fair value gap. So now I'll look for sells. I'll target that right there. Yeah. Yes, we still respected it. Respect. Respecting the gap. Respecting the gap. Boom. No. I think it wants to go down some more. Yep, there we go. Awesome. And let me see, it broke this. Oh yeah, I'll just stay in like a motherfucker, man. So basically, I would stay in this far. I get out way the fuck down there. It should go down there. It should go down there. Let's see. It's been doing half shit. I should get out at the half. Going in the future, get out at the half. But it looks like it's coming back down anyway. But let's see. Because it made a high, lower high. Okay, right here now. Have to get out here. But yeah, in the future, get out at the 50% line. Okay, that's enough.